few weeks ago, the director of the Port of Tema, Jacob Adoko, issued an instruction that no official of the port or other agencies operating in the port, including security agencies, should leave the port area with items they classify as protocol goods. The directive, which took effect from 1st September 2015, is part of measures to promote integrity in the operations of the port, reduce or completely eliminate incidents and complaints of pilfering and extortion on the part of operators of the port, and restore a positive image of the Port of Tema.
Modern port management abhors carrying of items from vessels. Taking samples and carrying them out of the port. Samples, when they are taken, must be used for the purpose for which they are taken. But interestingly, most of the samples which are taken by our inspection companies end up in their houses.
The directive came into being because of the complaints of the stakeholders themselves, that they lose quite a good number of their goods or a bit of their cargo to protocol items and then the samples that they carry to laboratories.
Jacob Adoko lamented that there have been several complaints about officials who enter vessels in the name of going for their routine inspections and end up siphoning goods from the crew members on board the vessel for their personal and domestic consumption. He said vessel agents have complained bitterly of the practice and believes it's about time the Port Authority puts an end to the unethical behavior. For him, officials of agencies who go on board vessels for inspections should not even carry bags, since all they need are their files containing forms and pen.
Our ports must be seen as being international gateway to trade. We must be seen as facilitating trade, and not as a platform where items will be looted from vessels, items will be taken from containers and carried by our own officials to their various homes to be used as personal properties.
Granted that by the mandate of some of the regulatory agencies, they necessarily need to carry some of the samples, especially of those that are food items or food-related items, to the various laboratories to declare them fit for consumption of Ghanaians. The numbers that they carry to the laboratories, we do not expect them to exceed normally one per container. But it has become the practice where quite a number, at times you could have as many as 5 samples going out from one single container, all meant or destined for laboratories, and that is quite unreasonable.
Following the instruction, the port security has intensified efforts to ensure compliance of the directive. So far, a significant number of items, particularly food items like canned drinks, bags of rice, amongst others, have been seized from officials who intended to take them out of the port.
We have had a lot of persons who tried going out with vessels because it's a new directive, and knowing to them, they got here and then they got intercepted.
These samples must be forfeited and disposed of appropriately.
The port security manager noted that Ghana has a reputation to protect, and all efforts must be made to desist from unethical practices, especially by state agencies, to dent the image of the nation.